Welcome to Coffee and Conversation. My name is Honorine, and today I'm with JQ, who is pursuing a master in religion. JQ, thank you for being here with me today.
Honorary, thanks for inviting me. Thanks to not only you, but the whole like interview series. Thanks for organizing everything.
Yeah, my pleasure. I love interviewing different graduate students from different fields. I actually never interviewed somebody in religion, so I'm excited to interviewing you.
I did my undergrad as religion as well. I did religious studies as my undergrad, and then I'm here for my religion program. But the thing is, you cannot just study religion as a vague thing. I mean, some people do. Some people study like, it's like sociology studies society. I mean, like you can conceive religion as kind of abstract idea, but most of us, we have our own expertise. Like some people study Christianity, some people study Islam. And me personally, I study Buddhism. So.
And what do you study specifically about Buddhism? What is your research about?
A bunch of well-educated author. I mean, they love poetry, they love book, they love like writing, and they are well educated. They went to the kind of Columbia, New York University for studying literature. And they felt increasingly unsatisfied with their like modern American comfortable life. They felt like in the last 50s, like the World War II is finished, the American economy is booming, but they felt they lost their soul. They cannot get satisfied with their living in America because they feel they lack some spiritual guidance. So the thing they did is they chose Buddhism as kind of their spiritual path. So they kind of renounced their comfortable, like upper middle class, very privileged life. They just going to have a like broken car, road tripping across the USA, talking about literature and like practicing Buddhist meditation. That's kind of the American Beat generation. But my research project, I call it like the Chinese Beat generation and Buddhism. So it's actually a lot of earlier, it's late 17th century. So the story is in the late 17th century China, the politics was a mess. I mean, nobody, it's like, you get fired, you get impeached for no reason, just because of partisanship. It's like American right now. It's like Democrats versus Republican. And the thing different is in China, there was a man, it's called Zhang Juzheng. He was kind of dictator, that kind of person, because the emperor was really young. The emperor was only a kid. That person like was the prime minister who took charge of everything. So everybody who disagreed with him got no job. So there were a bunch of well-educated, I mean, the best of the best literary figure, politician. They found no job in the government. I mean, in China, people learn to be a politician. People study like Confucianism, study literature to learn how to govern other people, how to be a successful politician. And after their like 20 years, 30 years of study, they found they had no job. And the political is so dark, and they don't want to get involved in the politics at all. And even after this kind of prime minister died, the political arena was kind of disaster because nobody holding that big power. So it became like such a bigger mess, even a bigger mess. So this bunch of well-educated literary person, they chose to renounce their political career. They completely retire from politics, live in the Buddhist monastery. I mean, in China, the Confucianism or the politics versus Buddhism, they're kind of rivalry. Confucians used to like hate Buddhism. Buddhism is kind of missionary religion from India, and the Chinese people felt somehow, many of them, especially those well-educated elite, felt discomfort with that about. But nowadays, back then, late 17th century, classically trained Confucian scholar, became the biggest Buddhist patron because of sort of their kind of Chinese beat generation. They felt dissatisfied with the kind of their Chinese life. So they try to adopt Buddhism as their spirituality. And that thing actually led to the reformation of Buddhist monasticism, because Buddhist monasteries, they never had such a presence of laity. Lay people got interested in Buddhism, especially Buddhist meditation. So the Buddhist monasteries have to open like guest house, like kitchen, restaurant, to accommodate these lay followers, because I mean they gave monastery money, like cultural artifact. They donate their stuff to monasteries. So the monastery in return kind of have to sort of the meditation retreat program, like leading like there's kind of poetry club. So that led to the kind of reformation, or say the revival of Buddhism. So that's my thesis.
I love how enthusiastic you are about your topic. It's fascinating. It sounds to me that it relates also to sociology and history. It's not only religion you tackle. It's more like an interdisciplinary topic.
Yes. Yeah, that's the fact in modern, not modern, but in contemporary religious study programming. It is interdisciplinary, yes.
So you mentioned that you participated in the Master in 4 competition and you actually won this competition. Do you have any tips for prospective students who wants to, not prospective students, more like graduate students interested in participating in this competition?
I mean, I guess you can sense that. I mean, I already tried my best to summarize my research to you like in like 10, 15 minutes. The thing is, you only have 4 minutes. You cannot cover everything you want to talk or you discuss in your thesis. That's impossible. You just cannot talk everything from like your inception to your impact to this kind of the scholarly world, to your thesis. You just cannot cover every aspect of your research. That's the real issue. You have to condense everything in 4 minutes. So my biggest advice is just talk about the part you think that is most interesting. I mean, as I explained, I mean, my research is a kind of combination of kind of American studies, Chinese studies, and Buddhism. But actually, the only thing I talked in my master's in 4 is nowadays in America, people kind of understood Buddhism as a spirituality, right? I think like you go visit Buddhist monastery, visit Asia, have you like you travel to those land, kind of sightseeing Buddhism. You're not really seriously into Buddhism, but you just visiting Buddhism, traveling to Buddhist monasteries. So the thing I told is actually, you know what? This something is fabricated. It is designed, artificially designed by the monastery to catering the visitor's experience. You know what? These things, the Buddhist tourism, the commercialization, they are not new. They existed in China 300 years ago, right? I mean, just because I mean the Chinese beat, they got interested in Buddhism, so the Buddhist monastery profited from that, right? They have their like meditation retreat program. They have their guest house. They serve you the finest tea, the best food. You think about that. That is the reason. I mean, people can really live in the monastery, can have like sort of tourism, the Buddhist tourism stuff. So so my main point is, I mean, war experience or like traveling experience into Buddhist monastery, they're probably artificial. I mean, the Buddhist monastery, they do not naturally attract everybody, but they reform themselves. They catering to the visitor. Another thing is, this is nothing new. It existed back in the history, back in the history. I mean, people always got interested in Buddhism, and Buddhist monastery always want to profit from that. So that's the only key point I mentioned. I think that's interesting. That I think that's kind of reflects. I mean, that's kind of introspective. It has some
Definitely.
meaning, and I think that also accessible for everybody. Everybody can resonate with that idea. So for the all other wonderful idea, I of course I know everybody's research is valuable. Everybody pour their time, energy, effort into their research. But the thing is, you only have 4 minutes. Talk the most, not the most important, but the most interesting stuff, the most accessible stuff to your audience. Let people enjoy your presentation. Now introduce you like the academic jargon, the philosophical ideas, all the nitty gritties. No, go to the point, go to the most interesting part.
Thank you for those advice. I'm sure people will appreciate it. You said you're about to graduate in the spring. What are your plans for next year? Are you going to pursue a PhD?
No, actually, I haven't go back home for a while. So no, I didn't apply for any PhD program. I'm thinking about going back home, starting a little bit like a music career. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Again, I love the music. I mean, American studies stuff, man. So I want to like become a kind of mixing engineer, audio engineering, do that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was amazing getting to know you and getting to know more about the Department of Religion that I didn't know much about, but that you praised very well.
It's the best department, the best religion department in North America. It gave funding to all MA and PhD students. I mean, regardless of anything. I mean, if you got admitted, you get the assistantship. So, and the department really listen to our student. We have really nice communication, no office politics. It's a wonderful opportunity. I encourage everybody to check it out. Take a course in your bio Department of Religion, considering majoring or minoring in religion, or have your graduate career in our department. Thank you.
Thank you so much.